You're joining us. We are coming to you from the Courier Mail newsroom and, of course, Queensland legend Billy Moore right here beside me. Game 3, the decider, Suncorp Stadium, Maroons v Blues. Billy, what's your tip?
I'm pumped. I'm pumped. It's going to be a fantastic game of footy, very intense. I think it'll be setting a new benchmark for the ferocity and the level of collisions. Game 2 was the toughest game I think I've seen in living memory for me anyway, and this will be of the same vein, if not even 1% more. Look, Queensland to win, but you know we've been lucky enough to play like in the last 4 or 5 years at 95% and get away with the silverware. Not tonight. It's 100% to win this one. New South Wales are cocky and they're confident, and rightfully so. They've played really good. They've found a new level themselves, but they're coming to our house to steal our silverware. It's going to be difficult for them to do it, but we need to play 100% to make sure they walk away empty-handed.
Is this the best Blues team you've seen for the past maybe 6 years?
Yeah, I would say so. The real question mark for them, you know, the term the spine, they throw that around a lot these days. They're 9-1 have been brilliant. I still think they're 7-6 have room for improvement. And I hope they don't, because you know if they play fantastic tonight, it's going to be really hard to beat them. But look, it is a good side. Their strike power in the forwards is great, and their bench has been brilliant. Their bench tonight, T-Rex, Watmo and Luke Lewis, watch out for that. They're dangerous players. They could really come on and make an impact. So that's what we've got to do. Our bench has to have an impact. I thought Shillington and Hannett in game 2 were great in the second half, but our other two boys off the bench weren't good. So we need Tio and Gillette tonight to really come on and make a difference.
Dave Taylor, not going to get a run?
No, he won't get a run. Look, I don't use the word failure, I use the word learn. And I think that Dave's got to go away from this series and go, look, okay, didn't play as well as what I could do, as what I hoped. Learn where we fell up a little bit short and improve in that area, and then come back in a couple of years' time a bigger and better player. You remember Matt Scott 5 years ago played one game and got dropped. He was completely out of his depth. He was in
Queenslander!
he was out of his depth, but he went away and he learnt from that, and he's the best front runner in the game today. So Dave will be the same. He'll learn from this. It's a higher intensity, and it probably doesn't suit his game at this moment, but he'll learn. He'll come back, hopefully next year, bigger and better.
Nielsen in, Semi-Thino back as well. Good
great,
stuff.
Great. He's a superstar. We probably missed his impact a little bit in game 2. Look, he mightn't make a break, but it takes 3 or 4 guys to tackle him, and then ensuring quick play the ball. There's a hole somewhere for our back line to find. So look, having him there is a great thing, and Nielsen will do a fantastic job. I'm really looking forward to the English play. You know, you've got a situation. There's an adage, you never weaken one position to strengthen another, and we sort of have done that. Dave Nielsen, he'll do a wonderful job. Very, very stable, solid player. I'm just looking forward to seeing what English can do at fullback. It's the unknown. That's the grey area, the X factor we don't know. So it's exciting. Do
you think they'll step up without Lockie? They've struggled the past couple of games. Do you think tonight's the night to prove that they can do it without Lockie?
That's a really good question. Last year, at the beginning of the series, people were sort of saying, "Oh, look, Lockie's a bit old. We don't need him." What does he do? He doesn't take the line on. He doesn't really do a great deal. We now realise how much he did. It was so subtle what he would do in his kicking game, his direction. So JT probably hasn't played as well as what he can do, but I think tonight will be the coming of age of him in the number 6 jersey. He's a magnificent player. Like tonight, he equals the great Gary Larson's 24 straight, and he will pass Michael O'Connor as the second highest point scorer in Origin history. So he's done everything, but I think he really wants to say, "Hey, I'm a 6."
If the Blues lose, end of Ricky Stewart.
Well,
end of a few of the Blues players as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, I think it could be the end of a couple of Blues players, but look, I think it depends on what Ricky wants to do. I've got a gut feeling that he could be back in the NRL. I think he wants to go back to NRL. Yep. He wants to test himself week in, week out in that competition. He's done a wonderful job here in Origin. So I think his continuing Origin won't depend on winning and losing tonight. It just depends on what he wants to do with the NRL.
Yep, good stuff. All right, Billy, your tip for the game.
Well, look, being an unbiased Queenslander, Queensland by 8. I'm very confident, but nervous, but confident. It's going to be great. As I said, it's the game of the ages. I can't wait. And look, I went for a bit of a run this morning around Brisbane. Mate. You can just see the vibe in the city, and everyone's got a splash of maroon, whether it be a tie, a scarf.
Shut up, Gus. Shut.
The great Gus there, mate. I'm easily bought and sold. Look, it's going to be brilliant. So, look, Queensland by 8, but respectfully nervous against a very cocky and confident, justifiably so, New South Wales team.
Good answer. Queenslander.
Hey.